Okay, today we have a game on Gibraltar where Anna for most of it, we're Lucio for like 2 minutes on attack, but we're Anna for the rest of the time. And the SR is like 2600, 2700, you know, the usual. So, Tikumiyomo has not picked yet, but he is going to pick Farah. So we have 222, which is perfectly fine. Could it be better? Yes, I'd prefer if Zenyatta was like Lucio. McCree was like Soldier, and Farah was Roadhog or something. But you know, it's fine. It's a solid 5.9 on the mediocrity scale. It's perfectly serviceable. So, let's start. Let's skip past all the setup though, because we don't want to watch all that. Alright, now we're gonna go out the door, upstairs, and we're gonna be immediately sad, because that's gonna happen. And, you know, realistically, how could you have known? I guess you could have been looking out the window, but like, who bothers doing that, you know? fucking losers. So, team's still doing okay, we're getting forward, we're in range to heal now. This is all fine, Hanzo's not gonna get us again from back here. Need to be moving up by now, because we're starting to push ahead. Need to be moving up a little bit more. Hard to throw a grenade up to high ground. Probably dead regardless, though. Baby Diva's pretty fragile, you know. Team is doing amazingly well right now, all things considered. We're just going to look at the clouds for a second, because someone said behind you, behind us. So you're like, oh, where? And, you know, despite not really seeing the team for this entire point, we're actually going to get the point really easily. But then we're going to be sad for the rest of the game, so we should enjoy this while we have it. We're going up onto the high ground. High ground is good. Obi-Wan taught us this, and we try to live by this tenet. Now, this is actually a situation, right? And I know this is going to sound ridiculous, because it's like, oh, he tells me to be on high ground more frequently, and the second I'm on the high ground, he's going to tell me to jump off. You know? But there's a fight happening inside the hangar that you can't quite see properly, like all the tanks are being blocked off by the arch, and you can't like get to a position in the high ground very quickly, because the fight's happening now, so it would have to be quick, because you gotta go all the way over there. But if you jump down, you can actually see in, and like, get a better look at the tanks, so I think it's actually a better time to not be on the high ground. You know, can't please some people, I'm like that, you know? And now the door's closing, which is also unfortunate. So, people are dying. We should be backing up right now, but we're not. We're still going in. McCree's just walked forward, immediately gotten fucked, and now we really basically should be leaving, but of course everybody's still going in. Soldier's using his tac visor, and we're a little sad about that. We kind of like space out for a second, and Hanzo eventually is like, oh, Anna! And you're like, oh, fuck Hanzo. And now we're playing a dangerous game. We shouldn't be doing this. We should not be peeking out to try and get Hanzo. You don't want to have a sniper battle as Anna, because the other two can kill you in one shot, and Anna needs 3 at least. We're kind of spending a little too much time doing this, like, because our team's, like, going back into the hangar, but we basically can't see them right now, and it's actually not safe for us to go through this door, because Gibraltar's high ground is actually fairly exposed like this. Well, because, like, the defenders also have high ground, you know. So, it might be better to either jump down, or it would also be a little better to go over to the other doorway, because then it's a little harder for people over here to shoot at you. But we also would have a harder time seeing our team probably as well, because they might be like, they're probably like under that door right now. So, now here we see Soldier, and we don't get him, just barely though. But, right, so let's back up. Right about, like, your immediate reaction, and I think this is most Anna's reaction, like, when they're, less experienced, you know, to put it diplomatically, it's to throw the grenade at people that are close to you, because the grenade does damage. But, right, you could actually trank him pretty easily right there. And if you trank someone as Ana, and you have the opportunity to go up to them, like, you basically will kill them if they have 200 HP 9 times out of 10. Because you walk up to them while they're sleeping. And obviously you don't do that if it's going to get you killed. But, like, if it's not going to get you killed, you walk up to them. And you left-click, grenade, left-click again, and melee them. Because the left-click can be cancelled with the grenade. But it doesn't add to the delay of the next shot. So you can get another shot in at the same rate as if you hadn't thrown the grenade. And then you can also melee, because they'll still be, like, basically on top of you at this point. And if they have 200 HP, they're dead. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say that an Ana tranking someone is basically a guaranteed kill, because Ana can almost kill them, like, herself every time. So, and then even if you missed, you could still try for this, so tranking would have been a better option. Now, Farah's calling for healing, and she's going to make life as difficult as possible by staying where we can't see her. One thing, and a thing that, like, people don't really do when they play support, I've noticed, is, I don't actually know if you have this bound, I think you might have told me once you unbound this key, but if you are playing a support and you aim at someone and say, and push, I need healing, like a keybind, not off the wheel, if you push it, you actually say to them, come to me for healing. So, that's worth binding to something so you can do that. Like, Farah's just making life difficult here. This is a bit of a recurring theme for this game, is that people are making it really difficult to be healed at a lot of points in this game. Alright, so everyone's regrouping, trying to get in at Soldier. That's fine, because the fight's not happening right now, so you can do that. And this is really awkward. A lot of stuff happens very quickly. I'm amazed that Graviton doesn't pull you in, because you're like a centimeter outside its range. This is all basically fine, though. We're really far back. People can't really get to us. And then we get shot by Hanzo. I watched that through earlier a couple of times to see if it was reasonably possible that you could have seen Hanzo. You theoretically could have, because he was on screen for like half a second, but like you would have had to have the greatest situational awareness on the planet to have known. So we'll just write that one off as being fuck Hanzo, basically. Now, this is not so much because you're going onto the high ground that I have an issue with the way you're going right now. It's that, like, we knew 2 people were still in there. Like, they shouldn't have still been in there, they should have left, but they were in there, and we don't see them die. And then we walk past the other 3 members of our team as they're going back to the hangar. So our team goes into the hangar, and they kind of think we're all together. And it's not, like, your fault that they don't know you're not there, because, like, that's something they're supposed to try and keep track of, is where their teammates are. But you go around this way while they're going in, and it takes a really long time to get up onto this area. And, like, it's not that this is a bad area to be in, it's just that, like, it took so long to get there, I don't think it was worth it, considering our team was going back to the fight. Now, what's happening here is we're waiting to heal Reinhardt, and then fuck Hanzo. The thing is, also, though, that you're standing perfectly still while you're doing this. If you're in this kind of situation, where you're just, like, waiting for somebody to come out so that you can shoot them, ally or enemy, whatever, it doesn't matter, just kind of, like, keep moving back and forth, or, like, crouch and uncrouch or something. Don't just stand perfectly still while you're waiting for that sort of thing, because then Hanzo just does that, you know, and we're upset about it. And we get super tilted. And this is how you know. This is how you know that a support player has gotten tilted, right? If they are playing Ana, Zenyatta, or Mercy, and they change to Lucio, that healer 100% just went, fuck it, when they died, right? That's what happened. Now, I'll be real with you, I'm not the most knowledgeable person about Lucio, so I can't give you super minute information about Lucio. So, basically, it seems like you do perfectly fine while all of this is happening, at least as far as I can tell. Like, we're because, you know, like, Lucio isn't exactly a hard hero to play. You just kind of have to be in the same area as your team and be playing Lucio, right? It is a little awkward now that our other healer is Zenyatta, because, like, Lucio's ambient healing is not particularly high. Without Amp It Up, that is. And this is good because while Transcendence is happening, we spend it in Speed Amp. We change to healing for like a second, but we then immediately change back, so that's good. Don't want to have healing up while Transcendence is going. Like, this all seems fine. I don't really think there's much that you could do in this fight to improve, because, like, what's Lucio gonna do, right? It's not like you're on a map where you can bonk someone off, and it's not like you're just, like, running up to people and getting yourself killed. You're just being Lucio in the area. That's all anyone can ask, really. So, that is actually a really good dodge, and it looks as if you did it on purpose, because you did tuck around the corner away from the Reinhardt. This is all very unfortunate that we got caught in the Graviton. Team should, like, not even be going into the hangar right now. They should just be waiting for everybody to come back. But Farah's in mad deep, and she's gonna get fucked up by Soldier. It's you know, it's a little sad. We also have a Tracer now, which is not fantastic. Like, if you're gonna pick, like, a flanker in this situation, why don't you pick Genji to try and kill Hanzo, right? That's a little awkward, but it still actually hits everyone because of how Lucio's ult works. Now, this right here, I think you wait way too long to go onto the speed aura here. Because, like, there's some things you just can't out-heal, and Amped Reinhardt is one of them, especially as Lucio. So I think as soon as you see, like, him get amped in this position, you just put on the speed boost and amp it up to run away. Soldier's also ulting right now, so that would help, like, everybody get out of line of sight of Soldier. So, I think it's just, like, didn't change off healing quite fast enough, but at the same time, though, team is getting fucked at this point. It's, like, straight up fucked. This is, like, you just used amp it up, and this made me think of this, right? So, in this kind of situation, 9 times out of 10, the Lucio definitely just goes, oh, I'll amp it up because I need to get to the point faster because we're in overtime, right? But this is something to think about in this situation, where it's worth sometimes considering not doing that, even if it's in overtime, because if you think about it, like, right now, the point is actually not very far away from where we spawn, and we can get into actual, like, effective range quickly because we can just jump over the boxes in the gate. So, and because if we use Amp It Up like this, by the time we get to the payload, Amp It Up will not be off cooldown. So if we can get there, like, if we get there just a little bit slower, and the fight is still happening, but we have Amp It Up when we arrive, that could be more impactful than us just getting there faster. Because, like, then we can heal people more when we arrive, because we also know when we arrive, people are going to be fucked up because we have to suicidally stand on the point right now. So it is sometimes worth thinking about not using Amp It Up in this situation, because we could still get there, and, like, then we'd have a bigger impact when we arrive. Doesn't really matter here, because team's about to just get fucking demolished, basically. Oh, excuse me. We got, like, I'm hiding over there with, like, 1 hit point, just being really sad about everything. Then Mercy reses, and it's just a kick in the teeth, honestly. And as you can see, at this point, we're getting super tilted by Hanzo. We'll start blaming Hanzo even when it's not actually Hanzo's fault. King Butt, Zenyatta, is also being incredibly helpful at this point, by the way. He's definitely a strong team player. So now, let's go back. Let's skip ahead, because we don't want to watch the whole thing. Tickle Me Elmo over here has decided to pick Bastion and then say Trust, accidentally in all chat. So now the enemy team is probably like, oh, he's picking Bastion or some shit, because he said Trust, right? And, spoiler warning, it doesn't work out very well. I know, shocking, isn't it? King Butt's being just beacon of positivity. Like, King Butt also has, like, a really punchable voice, right? Like, let me just turn that up for a second so that you can listen to King Butt's voice, because, man.
King Butt, why don't you trust us?
We all need someone we can trust.
Because none of you can get kills?
Like, you know, like, Come on, if you're gonna insult people, at least don't fucking mumble it like that, right? Come on. At least ebly well. Alright, so this is fine. We're hard to hit from here. We got some damage, getting some damage in. We probably focus on doing this for a little bit too long, because we're like looking down the scope this entire time. We're not really looking around and getting a feel for where our team is and if anybody's getting hurt. Like, nobody is particularly hurt right now. A Bastion gets fucked up, as you may not be too surprised to see. This is actually really good, right here. And this is kind of what I was talking about with tranking people right here as well, where you basically go up and do it. And Hanzo's really sad, and thus we've had vengeance. But critical error, right? We didn't teabag Hanzo. And that's why we lose the game. Right there. Now you know. The more you know. Now, this is really brave, because we're looking around the corner while we have 20 hit points. Probably don't want to be doing that. HP is dangerously low. I also think it's okay here to, like, grenade yourself. Well, like, yourself and Soldier, because, like, you're not going to get healed soon. We're getting way aggressive right now. Like, we're going way too in. We got to start backing up, because this point is getting close. This payload is getting close to the point. I really like that maneuver as well, because it's like duck behind the desk and, like, throw a crumpled up piece of paper at Hanzo, right? Like, oh, go away. I like that. This is really sad what happens here also. Now, realistically, there's like a 1% chance you get out of this regardless, but, like, we're gonna go back and, like, look at it anyway, just because, you know, it could matter. So, I think when we walk around here and we see Reinhardt, what we immediately do is start running down the staircase right behind us, and we try to trank him so that we can get out. Mei is, like, definitely going to immediately wake him up, and, like, you probably don't get out anyway because the whole team's, like, outside the door. But, you know, even if it looks hopeless, you gotta try as hard as you can, right? Also blaming Hanzo, even though Reinhardt was the one that killed us that time. Zenyatta's, like, wasting Transcendence by the looks of it. I can't imagine it was right to use that. Now, we do need to be, trying to stay out of line of sight at this point, because we are having some sad times with Hanzo. Also, did I go back? Yeah, right here. I think you grenade Zenyatta at that point, because Zenyatta is just having a hard fucking day right there. He needs something to, like, refresh him after this trying time. This is really awkward, because it's, like, very unsafe for us to walk up and actually do anything. This ult, I thought about a bit earlier as well. I don't think the ult here was necessary, because, like, we come around the corner and we get the grenade on him, and he, like, pins the other Reinhardt, and then we ult him when he's at, like, half hit points. Thing is, that we know two of them are dead, because Mercy and Reinhardt are dead. And we can see, like, our entire team right now, and everyone's pretty much okay. Like, we're at half HP, but we're really far back right now. Mei's full HP. Soldier is like, wounded, but not in critical. We're healing Reinhardt right now, and D.Va's only about to lose her mech. So I think we can reasonably assume at this point we've already won this fight. So I think it was probably better to save Nano Boost here. It's also, like, this is kind of more of a general thing with Nano Boost, is if you're gonna Nano Boost Reinhardt, you really want to Nano Boost him when he is charging. Because then, like, if he pins someone, that person is fucking dead, you know, unless Zarya shields them or they get CC'd. But, so, like, it just gets a more use out of your Nano Boost, because Reinhardt now is not an auto Nano Boost target, since it doesn't have the speed boost anymore. And so if you do it after he's charged, like he's already charged in and arrived, you're missing out on some value from your ultimate, and it might be worth considering at that point ulting someone other than the Reinhardt. Because, like, Reinhardt does then just have to catch you, which is difficult without the speed boost. So it is something to think about, that if you can't hit him when he's charging, it might not be worth hitting him at all. D.Va's about to get fucked up because she tries to fight someone while she's baby D.Va. And, like, you know, even if you hit her there, I don't think she made it out. Now, we are a little far up at this point. Scatter Arrow breaks right in our face, and we're a little scared about that. And this is where I think saving Nano Boost would really come in handy, is this team fight. Also, that grenade was way too... Let's watch the whole team fight. Why am I going back? Let's watch the whole thing first. So, Reinhardt charged in. He's getting fucked up. We're trying to heal him up. Toblerstein is pinning us to the wall, which is real hard. Reinhardt's like, damn, she's too high to pin. That's a very selfless grenade right there. You're at 8 HP and you throw it at someone other than yourself. It is... I admire the bravery in there. But then we peek a corner with 8 HP and immediately die. So, you know, now let's go back a little bit and actually look at this a little bit more closely. So, this is where I think having not used Nano Boost earlier could immediately come in handy, because we could pin Reinhardt when he... pin Reinhardt. Of course we can do that as Ana. We can ult Reinhardt as he's going in here, and he's going to be stronger when he arrives. We also needed to throw a grenade way sooner than this, because we, like, throw it at them, but we could have thrown it at Reinhardt as well, like, this, when he was in, and against the wall from pinning them. We should have thrown it right then, because we'd hit, like, 2 enemies and Reinhardt instead of just Zarya. This is, like, just weird times, but there's actually not that much they can do to kill you. Like, quickly anyway. I would grenade myself at this point. Like, this is a situation where it's okay to do that, because you have 8 hit points. And then we play way too aggressively right now, because then we come up, and, like, D.Va is also making it difficult by going too far away for us to heal her while she's getting fucked up. But we shouldn't be following her in this situation, because we're just way too low to expose ourselves like this. And Soldier just, like, gets us once, and we die. But, we blame Hanzo anyway, because Hanzo was definitely there, you know? Some indecision about which way we're gonna go. We had to think about it. Wanna try and decide quicker, but, you know, it's fairly obvious. Alright, so we're doing a decent job of holding the hangar door, which is fairly difficult to do. This is all fine. Your team, again, is making it difficult here because they are about to all go into areas that we can't heal them during this fight. Because D.Va is fighting outside of the hangar right now. She does come back in. In a second, like, it gets worse. King Bud is still being, like, a whiny bitch, by the way, if you're curious as to what that was about. And now D.Va's just gonna go out while she isn't even full hit points and fight out there. So, like, what can we do about that? Fucking nothing. And she doesn't get back in. Reinhardt goes over here, and we can't see him, so we can't heal him. Like, this is not your mistake that you're making here, because, like, you could argue, oh, well, you should be in a position where you can see them behind this crate. But they should not be that far up. So, it's more them fucking up, because they shouldn't be doing, like, making this so awkward. I don't like that, though, right there. Because, like, those two we couldn't really do very much for. They were in difficult-to-heal places, which is their own fault. But, while this is happening, we actually try to hit Zarya instead of healing Mei, even though she's still taking damage, so should have just kept healing her. And, again, like, we're just sort of, standing still, looking at the cart, and fuck Hanzo happens right there while we're standing still. So again, we don't want to be doing that. We want to keep, just, like, moving around, even if we're, like, trying to wait for someone. So, this is an unfortunate thing with your team, also, is that it's... Well, not so much now, but on the attacking round, it was kind of awkward to find someone to nano boost. Now we do have, like, a Soldier, a Reinhardt, and a D.Va, so we have, plenty of, like, okay targets and a good one. And this is like, fuck, whoa, Widowmaker is suddenly here, right? Like, we just come around a corner, and we're like, oh fuck, Widowmaker. And Widowmaker kind of looks like she's like, oh fuck, Ana, as well. And you, like, mirror each other's movements. I would have not tried to do that. I would have just immediately, like, not gone out of the scope and just tried to jump back into the hangar. Because, again, we don't want to try and fight a sniper as Ana. But we also came around a corner and were like, oh, fuck, Widowmaker. So, I think that's a fair reaction. And I feel this is very important. I'm gonna have to include a trigger warning here, because we are about to see some absolutely fucking freak nasty content right here. Please, brace yourself. I hope your house is earthquake proof, because what you're gonna see is gonna rock your fucking world. There's a fucking nano boosted Hanzo right there. And what's more surprising, he kills like 3 fucking people. See? Look at this. Like, it's it's terrible. This is the sort of thing you see in nightmares. Nano boosted Hanzo that actually kills people. And now we're basically just fucked. We don't even get back in time. And it's basically, this whole game is basically just like Lemony Snicket's unfortunate series of events, right? Yep, can't speed boost faster. And let's wait and see what the play of the game is. And, it's gonna be, you might get double triggered, so be warned. 'Cause Hanzo got the play of the game. And what did Hanzo get play of the game with? Well, the thing we just fucking saw. And you know what the worst part is? It's actually, like, okay, right? It doesn't miss, like, 5 shots in the whole, before hitting someone. So, that's that game. It was very sad, and it was very tragic. There's, honestly, there's not, like, one thing I would, there's not, like, one really critical thing in the game that stands out to me. Other than, like, broadly speaking, positioning, because you stand still a couple of times, and, like, it gets you killed. I mean, it's not like we know you would have survived if you were moving around, but... Yeah, and there's, like, there was the small amount of time wasting, where we go a really long route around, but, like, overall, it was fine. The team was not fantastic. Everyone was being bad, and I do mean everyone, including me. But that's not new information. I'm always bad. But yeah, it was, considering how sad the game was and just tragic the game was, it was, like, okay. It was a solid, mediocre number 5.9. That is, mediocre number... I don't even remember the meme. God damn it. I failed everyone.